My parents and I were shopping when we suddenly heard the loud alarm go off in the store we were in. Security came rushing towards us and demanded we show them our bags. Is this some comedy sketch?
This is absurd! Do you know who I am?
Mom said in a narcissistic tone. Ugh, Mom, you're a middle-class elementary school teacher. If anything, it's a good thing they don't know who you are. When they checked her shopping bags, they found 10 unpaid items. She insisted she didn't know how they ended up there, but she was arrested, and Dad had to pay a huge bail for her and more for the lawyer that got her charges dropped.
I don't even know what the big deal is. I just liked something, so I took it.
Mom, do you think you're the Empress of the Milky Way? You're caught red-handed breaking the law. The only thing you're Empress of is having a metaphorically bigger head than a T-Rex. Was that too harsh? Whatever. She needed to hear it. Hi, I'm Amber. I'm 19 and I live in Ohio. Ever since I can remember, my dad has been an aspiring screenwriter. He's written a great script for a movie called Bright Shadows and has been trying to get it produced for a decade, but with no luck. Mom, on the other hand, is a self-proclaimed kleptomaniac. She's not, by the way. She just steals, manipulates, and lies for sport. I don't like to toot my own horn, but I, luckily, escaped their messy genes and turned out great. I am a great painter and have portraits that give Picasso a run for his money. I dream of opening up my own art studio. One day, Mom reached our last straw when she stole from an actual science lab. She supposedly decided to steal their new formula for anti-aging cream. It wasn't even ready for usage. Good thing it didn't turn her back into a toddler. The next day, as I was finishing up my latest masterpiece, Mom and Dad were fighting like alley cats again.
You have no regard for my happiness at all! All I said was that stealing is unethical and illegal. Well, if you had sold your half-baked, dim little script, I could afford to buy my necessities.
Mom, 10 eyeliners and a diamond bracelet aren't necessities. Do you think you're Madonna? Mom's ears turned red as she left embarrassingly. In a few hours, she had packed her bags and left us for good. Dad was as broken as an old China doll.
I've loved her for so long. How could she just leave us?
I sympathize with Dad, really, but it was for his own good. He won't have to endure her abuse anymore. When the divorce papers came in, I looked at them like they were Christmas presents, and Santa had come early. We were able to move on, and in less than a year, I nailed down an internship at a famous art gallery. I loved my job and was finally on my own way to achieving my dream. Suddenly, Dad barged in, jumping up and down excitedly like a child.
Ambi, guess what? A huge film producer is interested in my script. Can you believe it?
Honestly, I couldn't. It felt too good to be true. But I told Dad to go for it, and he told me we were going to have dinner with the producer and his family tonight at their mansion. When we got there, it wasn't a mansion as Dad had described. It was more like a small village. We went inside the house, and it was filled with shiny, beautiful artifacts. Then, my eyes landed on the shiniest one, a boy my age who looked like his face was sculpted by Michelangelo. Who is he? Is he here alone? My mind raced with 100 questions. Most importantly, questions about his phone number.
Hi, Wednesday Addams. Where's Cousin It?
Excuse me?
I assumed you thought this was a costume party and were dressed as Wednesday.
Yeah, he's getting less attractive with every word that comes out of his face hole. Oh well, who would you be dressed as, since your face is all black and blue?
My face isn't black and blue.
Not yet, hotshot! I said and took my seat.
Thank you for joining me at my humble manor, everyone.
The producer, Mr. Jones, said.
I'd like to introduce you to my son, Nick. He'll be one of the executive producers of the movie.
Ugh, so he's his son. Makes sense. No one would be able to tolerate that dimwit if they weren't stuck with him.
I would also like to introduce our other executive producer and my new partner, Camilla.
And suddenly, I felt a chill run through my spine as the coldest heart known to man sat down next to me.
Hello, dears.
Mom?
Cammy?
Is this some kind of prank? What is happening here?
Oh, this is so entertaining.
The doll-faced cretin laughed.
Gosh no! I simply pitched Jones your dad's script and he loved it. And as an added bonus, I get to work with you guys every day.
Does she actually think we're that gullible?
Oh, wonderful, darling.
Oh, I guess she'd be right if she did, huh? Not even if hell freezes over. We'll never trust you again. Mr. Jones, thank you for the offer, but my father would rather kiss a pig than work with her. I said and pulled Dad out of his chair and miraculously got us into the car through all his fussing and drove away. Dad moped for a couple of days, but suddenly he stopped. He almost seemed satisfied. Oh, something must have happened. One day, I decided to follow him after he left the house. I put on a trench coat, dark sunglasses, and a hat so he wouldn't notice me. While it did kind of make me look a little like Inspector Gadget, it did the trick. I found Dad sitting alone on a random bench. Is he waiting for someone? Then, a woman sat down next to him. Wait, is that Mom? I got closer so I could eavesdrop on their conversation.
Even though you hurt me, I still love you.
Oh, Dad, did you find your dignity in a yard sale?
I know, darling. That's why I want to make it up to you. Accept Jones's offer. Trust me. I do trust you, darling.
Good, cause
I actually have the contract right here for you to sign. Oh, absolutely. Let me sign right here.
before he could finish, I jumped out of the bush I was hiding in. Hold it right there! They were both so startled to see me.
Inspector Gadget? I thought you were just a cartoon.
What? No, Dad, it's me. I took off my disguise. She is a sea witch, trying to get you to sing into her shell. Don't do it!
But I truly do want what's best for him. For you too. Won't you please just give me a chance?
I was so skeptical, but Dad was looking at Mom like she hung the stars. So I thought, maybe let's give her a chance. Maybe. Dad signed the contract and started overseeing everything on set. And you better believe I was glued to him to make sure he isn't manipulated by anyone.
Well. Looky who we have here. It's Gloomy Gus himself.
Ugh, I forgot that turd was working on set as well. That meant I had to see him everywhere I turned. At the table reads, at the catering corner, even at the makeup corner. It's as if he's doing it on purpose. Spoiler alert, he is! And hear this. Even the days I had to go to my internship at the gallery, he just showed up there. What are you doing here?
I'm looking to buy some paintings. I'm a sophisticated guy.
He said smugly. Then I noticed all the women in the place drawing their attention from the paintings to his stupid chiseled face. Even my own boss saw him and immediately told me to ask him to pose as a model for her paintings. I asked him through gritted teeth, and he was obviously enjoying himself.
I'm not so surprised. Women have always drooled when they saw me.
They're probably just spitting on the floor because they can't stand the sight of you.
Well, I don't see a line of men around the block asking for your hand.
Hate to admit it, but ever since my parents' relationship fell apart, I've sworn off relationships. But I can't give him the satisfaction of knowing that. Well, that's because everyone knows that I already have a boyfriend and we're very much in love. I bluffed.
Is that so? Well, how about a double date tomorrow night?
Oh shoot, I spoke too soon. Where am I supposed to find a boyfriend in a day? Boyfriends are us? The next day, I showed up to a restaurant with a big chunk of man candy on my arm. Okay, he wasn't as extravagant as I'm describing, but beggars can't be choosers.
Hey Amber, meet my date. She's a supermodel.
Oh, of course a supermodel would be interested in him. Well, meet my date. He's a... what are you again?
I'm a barista.
Oh, come on, man. No shame in that, but maybe bend the truth a little? As we started eating, Nick was feeding his date her pasta as if she has no arms. Excuse me, mama birds. Some of us find that nauseating.
Well, maybe some of you should just leave if you're so jelly.
Jelly? I am so not jelly. Well, to complete this game, I grabbed a handful of pasta and tried to throw it in my date's mouth. But the idiot dodged it. Why would he do that? Just because I was throwing hot pasta in his face? Oh, okay, I see. The pasta flew across the restaurant and hit one of the other diners. He was so infuriated. He threw it in someone else's face. It turned into a food fight between all the rich people in that fancy restaurant. The manager quickly rushed over and kicked us out. It was so humiliating. Why didn't you just catch the pasta in your mouth?
Do I look like a seal to you? What the hell kind of date is this?
He said and left. Guess I can't really blame him. Every time I ran into Nick afterwards, I tried to completely ignore him. Why can't I get him out of my mind? I mean, I still have to see him everywhere, every day on Dad's movie set. On the bright side though, the movie was actually going really well. To my surprise, Dad's script is actually pretty profound and entertaining. It's an enemies to lovers trope between a working class witty girl and a rich smug boy. Why does that strike a chord? Whatever.
Hey, Miss Killjoy, I need you with something.
Nick came up to me and said, as if we were childhood best friends, and I didn't fantasize about his pretty head on a stick every day. And why exactly should I help you, you shameless dweeb?
Because it has to do with your beloved father's movie. I need you to paint a mural that will be used as a backdrop for a scene.
And couldn't you find a professional painter to do that? Or has the big executive producer Nick Jones run out of friends? I teased him, but he just gave me a poker face.
No, I just recommended you because I liked your paintings that I saw at your gallery. I mean, they're slightly better than the ones a 2-year-old could paint, but they're fine.
Wait, really? Why would he do that? I thought he hated me. Oh, okay, thanks. Did I really just thank him for that? When I started painting, he sat with me, supposedly to overlook my progress, but I felt like he just wanted to be there. So, why are you suddenly being nice to me? Is it because my dad's movie's gonna make you a fortune?
No, I never hated you to begin with. I think you're cool, but I just wasn't gonna take your crap like others do.
He said with a charming grin. Wait, charming? What has gotten into you, Amber? Well, not all girls can be as perfect as the supermodels you fawn over.
Well, Gloomy Gus, I actually prefer you to any supermodel for some reason.
He said and my head exploded. Did he actually say that? I'm so shocked I almost dropped a bucket of paint on the floor. I kept painting, trying not to think too much about what he just said.
Hey, sweetheart, what are you doing?
Oh, hi, Mother. I'm just... I don't know why I'm so nervous. Maybe because she's always been critical of me and my art. Nick noticed I was so uncomfortable.
She's painting a mural to be used in the movie. Your daughter is a very gifted painter.
He answered so I wouldn't have to. I gave him a very appreciative nod.
Well, I can certainly see that. I am so proud of her. I guess she gets her talent from her dad and her good looks from me.
I gotta admit, maybe I've been too harsh on Mom. She hasn't done anything bad per se. Maybe she really does want what's best for Dad. I went to her trailer to apologize for being so mean to her before. But before I could knock, I heard her through the door, talking on the phone.
Yeah, and they have no idea I'm stealing from production.
Did she just say stealing?
And best of all, I'm pinning it all on my idiot ex. He's so gullible, he'll fall on his sword if I ask him to.
Oh my word! She's been using Dad, and now she's gonna frame him? I can't let that happen. I have to do something. Before I could finish my thought, it looked like she was coming over to where I was. Hide. I have to hide. Right next to her trailer with Nick's. I would rather get caught. Oh no, I wouldn't. I opened the door to his trailer and quickly got inside. Oh, please don't let him be exchanging tonsils with some girl. Luckily, he was just sitting on the couch. He looked up at me like I had grown a second head.
To what do I owe the honor?
I need to think of something. Some excuse. I'm here to inquire on how I can, become a better asset to this shoot. He saw right through me, of course.
Really? You wanna be a fuse? Okay, fine. Tell your mom to stop stealing from production.
Wait, you know about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty good at my job, you know.
So it's true. Mom is stealing from production and has become a con artist. I'm so disappointed. I thought maybe she had changed. Doesn't matter now anyway. I need to save Dad. Nick would definitely want the same thing. This could be good. He'll still need proof in order to go to the cops. And I want to save Dad from getting turned into sea foam by that sea witch. Okay, let's make a deal. We both get to save our dads if we can prove what Mom is doing.
Oh, so now we're some kind of united front? Okay, Gloomy Gus, what do you have in mind?
We spent the rest of the day cooped up in his trailer, crafting up a plan that would benefit us both. My conditions to help him were, Dad and his movie aren't going to be affected by this at all, and he makes a sizable donation to the gallery where I work. His only condition is that I am not allowed to fall in love with him while we work together, even when he's being sarcastic as a hot air balloon. After a week of planning, it was the day they were shooting the movie's climax, the bank robbery scene. The entire crew and cast were going to have their hands full, so that would be the perfect opportunity for Mom to sneak into the production office and steal the fake checks we planted there. The moment we noticed that Mom had zipped out of the studio, we quietly followed her. We saw her searching the producer's entire office. Come on, take the bait. Then she found the checks and yelled, "Aha!" like a cartoon villain. Come on, Mom, be a little less melodramatic. We barged in to catch her red-handed. You're busted! I knew you had ulterior motive for your sudden transformation. You're robbing Mr. Jones blind! She looked flustered, but then her usual audacity made a comeback.
What are you talking about? Ma'am, we know you've been dating my dad only so you could rob him and pin it all on Amber's dad.
She just looked at us with a poker face.
Okay, yes, I have been stealing from production. And yes, I was gonna frame your dad for it. So what? What do you have on me? Your word against mine?
Wait, she's right. We have no hard evidence. And she's not dignified enough to turn herself in just because she's ashamed of her wrongdoing.
Actually, we have one more trick up our sleeves.
We do? What? Because my sleeve is empty. Nick just clapped his hands and suddenly, the movie extras who are playing police officers in the movie scene we're filming today barged in.
You see, these aren't actual actors. They're real-life cops, and they just heard you confess to your crimes.
That just blew my face away. I thought they were actors. Well, at least until I saw them act. Along them were my dad and Mr. Jones.
Cammy, please say it ain't so. Oh, suck it up, you no-hit wonder. None of this would have happened if you were rich to begin with.
She yelled as she was being handcuffed. I felt bad for the man, but he needed to hear it to give up on her once and for all.
Well, I just realized that I deserve someone who will love me for who I am. You will never find happiness if all you think about is money.
Good for you, Dad. Finally, he gained some confidence. Mr. Jones thanked Nick and I for helping him and promised me that the movie will stay in production and this won't affect it at all. I was so happy. It felt like I had just won a battle. As production went on for the next few months, Nick and I got even closer. We became great friends, but soon after it developed into something even more. And guess who's gonna be my date for the movie's premiere tonight?